Next up for us is 4:25 p.m. Eastern. New York Giants 2-6, 1-3 on the road. Las Vegas Raiders, and I have been
I have
trying.
nothing on this game. Jesus Christ. I missed this game.
Well, no worries. I've got a lot,
Good. Good.
and I feel like I'm trying to. Uh, I don't know. Like I'm trying to get out of me something I've done wrong, kind of thing. Like just I feel like I'm gonna have to sell this, and I don't want to sit here and sell this to you guys. I don't want to come up with some great argument or anything like that, and I'm not going to try to do it. Uh, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. I've moved pretty heavy on this football game. For me, it will be the most that I have on a side at this point all season. So let's talk about the line situation here. It's at 37.5 is the total. It opened up at 38.5, so we have a 1 point drop to the under. From a side perspective here, this is sitting at 2.5 at minus 108. There were threes available at one point, but you know we cap a lot of sports, and it took me a little bit of time to kind of understand how I wanted to hammer this game, and I do want to hammer it, and I've hammered it. From a cash flow standpoint, we have 54% of the tickets and 69% of the cash on the New York Giants, and you have 88% of tickets and 86% cash on the under. The Giants coming off an ugly 13-10 overtime loss at home to the Jets. What I saw from that game was a lot of positives. I know that the passing game was historically bad. You know, Tommy DeVito, I felt bad for the kid. Tyrod Taylor left the second quarter with a rib injury. They finished with -9 net yards. That's the fewest in the game since the Browns had the same 23 years ago, -9 net yards. The Giants were 2 of 19 on third down. But what I saw from the players and what I saw from Dable was a group of men that are trying so hard and were able to compete with a decent New York Jets squad without a quarterback who could throw the ball. And Daniel Jones has been cleared to play full go at practice on tomorrow, and he'll be starting on Sunday. And I know you could say he's been terrible this year, and you would be right, and he's not worth $160 million, and that's all fair. Averaging 211.6 passing yards per game, 2 passing touchdowns, 6 picks. He's been awful. Giants are 1-4 in his starts. But I like it when a quarterback sits on the sidelines and watches. And I also like it when they watch somebody play well at times, like Tyrod has, and then when they watch someone futile and horrific, like DeVito was. I like when you just sit there and shut the fuck up and just watch what the hell's going on out there. And that's what he was doing. Saquon Barkley ran 36 times for 128 yards. He looks great. Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence are monsters right now. My only qualms with the way those two guys are is that they're on the field too much, that there's no depth at that position, so they're playing way too many snaps and they're exhausted. They combined for 4 sacks and 8 quarterback hits. The Giants' defense has really improved, and the Jets aren't a good offense. And we'll talk about the Jets here in a second. They're obviously really bad, but they held them to 2 of 15 on third down, 0-2 in the red zone. The Giants are ranked 17th in red zone defense, allowing touchdowns 53.9% of the time. They're now ranked 3rd in the league in third down defense. And that's legit. They're playing well, and they're stopping teams from converting. Teams are only converting 33.7% of the time. So Darren Waller, aggravated a hamstring injury. He's out. So now I don't want to sit here and say Andrew Thomas is going to be playing on Sunday. I've thought he was going to be back before, and he practiced last week. And sure, I would like him to be in the lineup. Evan Neal's out as well, but this team is getting healthier. And I think this is the best buy low spot in comparison to what's going on in Las Vegas. Because what's going on in Las Vegas is awful. the body language and the actions of Devontae Adams, Garoppolo just hanging his head low, a boy coach who just is in way over his head. Things are falling apart in Las Vegas. Falling apart. They come in off a short week. They put up 157 yards of offense against the Lions. Jimmy G was 10 of 21 for 126 yards and a pick. Jacoby Myers, Devontae Adams each caught one pass. And Devontae Adams is wide open a bunch of times. Josh Jacobs ran 50 times for 61 yards, touchdown. He also led the Raiders in receiving 2 catches for 27 yards. That's how bad they were. The Raiders were 1-9 on third down. They're 25th in the league, converting 35% of third downs. They're 27th in the league, scoring touchdowns and 41.6% of red zone drives. Their defense does their best to keep the Raiders in it, and Marcus Peters had that big interception return, but they don't get any pressure on Goff. It's just because it's too much work for Max Crosby. He's the only guy on the offensive line has to worry about. Their defense third worst in the league in the red zone, allowing touchdowns 73.9% of time drives, and they're also third worst on third down, allowing conversions to 45.6% of opportunities. The Giants team has not given up on Daboll. They haven't given up on themselves. And Graham Gano, do you know what he's going through right now? He feels like he's lost the game for his football team. A bunch of guys that almost beat the Jets without a quarterback. So I think that the Giants go into Vegas and win. I think the Raiders' season continues to fall apart. And I've got the Giants on the money line and plus the 2.5 points. There you go. Take it away, Troy. I know that you didn't have this game set up, but what do you think?
The reason behind that is because the Raiders were playing last night, and I just never even documented this game on my note sheet here because they were, I still wanted the PFF ratings for today. So I just a few notes on this game, and I really like where you're sitting at, Jim. I just know this. One thing I do know is that Raiders, despite Max Crosby, this pass rush has not been getting home. They're third lowest or bottom 3 in the NFL in pass rush and pressure rate from the defensive line. I just feel like the Giants should be able to have success on the ground. Maybe I'll play this with a teaser. I have to do more work on this game, obviously, but I would be only looking towards the Giants for all of the reasons you said. You drove a compelling argument. I'll probably end up on the Giants in some way, shape, or form.
Well, I can't fucking wait for this football game. And that's the fun. We cap these games. We put all this time and energy. Then we put the script together. And then we put our money where our goddamn mouth is. And I just want to be left alone in the dark with a bottle of booze for this football game. Just leave me the fuck alone. And I'm going to get this money. Let's move on.